Hi, welcome once again to Senior Focus. I'm your host, Bill Adams. Senior Focus is a show designed for people over the age of about 50. We bring you guests and information that hopefully you can use in your daily life. Before we get started, I wanted to thank Greg Roten from Armstrong's Channel 20 and 100, who brings the show to you, and also Keith Kaiser from the Mill Creek Metro Parks. Once again, we're in the Davis Center, and they allow us to use the center. It's a beautiful location, and we encourage you to come out and support the Metro Parks all year round. Today we're going to be talking with Earley and Sons, and today in the, it's not actually the studio, but in the museum here, we have Stefanie and Dan Earley. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
And you're going to talk about the work you do, which I understand this, you've been around for about 3 years maybe now?
This is our third year.
Okay.
Bill. Yes.
And could you describe, well, maybe at the top, just describe what you do, just sort of, just a thumbnail sketch, but we'll go into detail about how you get started then.
Sure. What we do is we're moving coordinators. We help families, seniors with the moving, organizing, downsizing. And what we do is we like to go in and help when they're getting ready to move, figure out what they want to take with them to their new home. If they've been in the home, say, for 40, 50 years, there's going to be a lot of belongings, so they might not know, they might get overwhelmed and not know what to do with them. So we can help get them in contact, give them some auctioneers. We can go ahead and see if they have things that they don't want anymore. We can help clear out the home by decluttering it, and then figuring out as far as we have different organizations that will help where they want to donate items.
Oh, sure.
That we can help get them connected to, where again they would have for their tax purposes, for donations. They would get the receipts for their tax purposes. So they're local reputable organizations, that they can talk to, that we could get them in contact with. Then we get them moved, and then we help them set up as far as putting away dishware, making the beds, unpacking. So this way they don't have the stress of doing all the unpacking, having all the boxes in their new home.
Right. And at the top, why don't we let people know how they can get in contact with you, maybe with the phone number and your website?
Yes, our phone number is 330-501-7004, and our website is earlyandsons.com. That's EARLEYANDSONS.com.
Well, I know I printed out some information, and this sort of developed from something you read, right? Do you want to talk about what was the genesis, I guess, of the whole company and how it started?
Dan was reading The Vindicator a couple years ago and ran across a story about a family in Texas that had used senior move managers, and it kind of caught our attention, and we said, wow, there's really nothing in the Youngstown area, a company that would do something like this. We know there's moving companies, but nobody that would help seniors from beginning to end, helping them through the entire moving process. It's a daunting process, and nobody looks forward to doing that. So we wanted to be there to help them from beginning to end, to take the stress off of them, and just helping sort through everything, packing, getting them moved, overseeing the movers on moving day, being with them all day and starting to unpack and get them settled in that evening. And if we need to come back, the next day to help unpack everything else. So we just thought that it was really a neat concept, and we just went with it. And
well, yeah, I'd just be curious because, again, it's relatively new idea, especially in this area. So how do you get started? I mean, what's the first thing you do to get a business started like that? Do you have to how do you get the word out, I guess?
Well, it's been a lot of networking. We've been trying to, with us belonging to the Youngstown Warren Regional Chamber,
Okay.
there's been a lot of different events that, we've been fortunate enough to be able to attend and, meet a lot of different people, just letting them know we're in business. We also, too, have been doing, going around to various assisted living, retirement communities, meeting with the admissions directors, marketing directors, just letting them know we're in business and that we can help, potential new residents, move into their facilities.
Do you get most of your calls from the seniors themselves, or do you get a lot of calls also from family members, like sons and daughters?
It's a mix of both,
Yeah.
really.
Yes, yeah, like Stephanie says, it's a lot of the children, nieces, nephews that will call.
Right.
And then also too, there's a good portion of the seniors themselves, that are, coordinating themselves, wanting to say, well, we know we got to make this move, my wife and I.
Right.
So we want to do it. So, and that's where we would go meet with them and sit down and we start to make a game plan. What they're looking for, when they're looking to move, what services they're looking that they feel that they need. So.
Right. Yeah, it's moving, and I've been through it many times, and I'm sure a lot of people watching have. It's very complicated.
Yes.
And especially, as you get older, you don't have the enthusiasm maybe to do the move.
Yes.
Sometimes you do, but when you're younger, it's a big adventure. But after you do it a few times, it's it's not as exciting.
Yeah.
So again, say I were a senior that comes or calls you. You first set up a meeting face to face?
Yes, we have free consultations where we come in, meet with the person that's looking to move, and we just try to talk with them and get an idea of what they're looking. Some of them might not need packing. Others might need help with just the setup of their new home. Or some of them might just say, well, we have so much stuff here, we don't know where to start. And with that, we could start going through, and what I recommend too is if you're looking to move, say in May, and you know that this is going to occur, a few months down the road, I would recommend starting to go through items, what you want to give the kids, grandkids, just so this way it's not all of a sudden all at once where it's very stressful. And that's where we could come in and we can say, okay, well you can, do you want this item or, do you want to donate that item? And we try to coordinate all that help them.
Probably takes a lot of patience, I would think, because again, you're dealing with some, a lot of things may not have great monetary value, but they have sentimental value.
Yes.
And so, in a way, it's almost like a social work type position where you have to be attentive to the people's feelings. Is that maybe
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people have told us how compassionate we are, because just the patience that we have to, sit and go through items. A lot of times they kind of have in mind already what they want to keep or give away or donate, and sometimes they don't, and we have to sit there with them and go piece by piece. Do you want to keep this? Do you want to donate it? Do you want one of your kids to take it? So, it's...
Yeah, and you hear a lot of interesting stories too.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Just hearing, like you say, the sentimental value on different things that they have, and then there's a stories behind it. And that's what we like too. And it's always different. Being able to work through someone's, different knickknacks and things like that they've had since maybe their grandparents had.
It's handed down generation to generation.
I just wrapped some china that was 150 years old. It was from a great-grandmother of this gentleman, and he was 91. So it had some years on it, and he wanted to make sure that it was packed very, protective. So.
And it just dawned on me, we've had the Mahoning Valley Historical Society, Bill Lawson is the director, And I don't know if you've ever come across that where maybe somebody, if they don't want to carry it to their next location, maybe they want to make that sort of donation.
Yes, and that would be a good contact also too. That we never, that's new for us. So
Yeah.
that would be a good point, if the homeowner would be interested.
Yeah, I was just thinking of that,
Right.
that there may be
Yeah, that
some
would
things
be
like
good.
that. And like you were saying earlier, Dan, that there are, people that will, they can't take everything, so they want to make a donation maybe to a charity,
Yes.
where people can use that. And that's nice. I mean,
Right.
to be able to have a use for, maybe it's clothing or.
Yeah.
Or,
A lot of people have given to Goodwill, Habitat for Humanity, the Restore down on Youngstown Poland
Oh,
Road.
sure, yeah.
Salvation Army up on Mahoning and
Their
46
church.
there. Yeah, their church.
Oh, yeah,
So-
yeah.
Wherever they want it to be donated to. And
Yes.
if they don't pick up, we would be happy to do a drop-off donation for them and
And-
get a receipt for their taxes.
And again, we were talking a little before the show that you'll do, you yourselves personally will do the smaller moves.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you want to describe the size of, what area that you'll
Yeah,
move.
if we have, in the state of Ohio, we can do small, if they're assisted living facilities, retirement, one room, or, up to two room, new apartments that they're looking to move into. We're capable of doing that. But if it's larger moves, we'll coordinate with a moving company.
Okay.
We could recommend a few good ones that we've worked with, and then that would be up to the homeowner's choice of who they would want to use.
Now, when you work with those bigger companies, or on the bigger moves, I guess, are you still involved in, again, maybe the planning of packing things and that kind of?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we would come in, we'd do the packing for them, and then on move day, we'd be there with the movers, showing them what pieces need to go. And then when we get to the new location, according to the floor plan, show the movers where the furniture needs to go, that, the homeowner wants.
A lot of our clients, we've created a floor plan and we've taken measurements to make
Oh,
sure
yeah?
that
Okay.
the placement of the furniture is just right, so that once we get the piece to the new location, we want to make sure that it'll fit. So
Yes.
we've done a lot of measuring and tweaking, and we have a magnetic floor plan that we show them,
Okay,
and then
yeah.
Yes.
they would go along with it and say, yeah, I really think that would work. So
I think I saw, maybe it was on your testimonials page, about a couple things. One is, they were hanging the pictures for us, and I think in one case, you made the bed.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
was surprising to the people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, because when we get in, Bill, to the new home, we can put the dishware away, we can make the beds, we can
Okay.
reset up the electronics for them.
Oh, good, okay.
Hang pictures if they want, if we're allowed to in the new facility. Sometimes maintenance will do that for them, but
Okay.
if we're allowed, we can do that for them. So we can make it home for them, so they can just be relaxed once they get settled in. This way, they're not having to worry about how they're going to have all those boxes, they have them unpacked, and then
Yeah.
what they're going to do with all the boxes once they're empty. So we can.
Well, I'd imagine, again, in this area especially, you've got a lot of seniors who the family has moved away. So there isn't, maybe the immediate son or daughter right nearby. So again, you're stepping in pretty much as family for these folks.
yes.
Do you get a lot of that situation where, maybe it's could be a senior who's lost a spouse,
Right.
and now they're alone, and so they want to downsize because of it's just the house is too big.
Right.
Is that the main thing? Is the house is larger than they need?
They don't want to
Yes.
take care of cutting the grass anymore and all of the upkeep of owning their home, so that's why they're downsizing.
Right.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
And with that also too, Bill, with my own mother, she lived with us,
Okay.
and when she had passed away, she had a room in our home, and so just a personal experience that my brother lives in Cincinnati, so I had to, go through my mom's room
Right.
to clean it out, and and figure out, well, give things to my brother and, what I'm going to give to her church.
Right.
And so, I had that personal experience before we even started this, so I was able to somewhat relate,
Sure.
to what it's like.
And and that's difficult for, again, the surviving family, because there are so many emotions attached even to the
Right.
smallest item. It
Yes.
just all brings back memories.
Right.
Where you could go in and, again, you could gently guide, the process and,
Right.
Yes.
make sure that, I guess, people, can move forward. I think that
Right.
probably is difficult, though, if you've been somewhere for 50 years.
Yes.
Right, yeah, just
yeah.
that change and going through a new whole chapter in your life. So,
Well, I know, again, you have a testimonial page. Why don't we mention again your contact information if people want to call you or visit online?
It's 330-501-7004, and our website is earlyandsons.com. It's EARLEYANDSONS.com.
And again, we're here with both Stephanie and Dan, and on your testimonial page, there was a particular family that I actually recognized because I grew up in Struthers, and they had lived nearby, and I was actually, at their home from time to time. So, so you do have a lot of people. Can you explain how far you go in the area? I mean, in Mahoning County and any other areas?
yes, we cover Columbiana, Trumbull County, Mahoning. I mean, we'll go anywhere in the state of Ohio, but those are our three counties that we cover, in this general area.
And you have a truck, right?
Yes, we have a 14-foot box truck.
Okay. And as part of that, you also have, we were talking before the show, you have insurance that
Yes.
covers
Yes,
your work?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're fully insured, and it's my wife and I that are on the jobs. So, yep.
Have you met anybody else that's in the field of doing this kind of thing? Again, going back to that original Youngstown Vindicator article, anybody in others? Well, I mean, you read about them, I guess, in other
Right.
states, but
No, we haven't. We know that there's a company over in Pennsylvania that's close to us that has many years of experience doing this similar thing, but we never had the opportunity yet to meet. But in this general area, I haven't met anybody yet.
yeah.
But we're always trying to make ourselves better with the company, create new ideas and better services for the seniors and their families.
Do you see any, well, it is Earley and Sons. Now, they're a little, just looking at the picture, they're a little young for the
Yes,
family
well,
business, right? Do you want to
Right.
talk about, how old are your children?
Our boys are 12, 6, and 2.5.
Okay.
And eventually, if they should decide once they have matured, and hopefully they would someday take over our business. That's
Yeah.
what our hopes are.
Right.
But right now, you're not, they're in the name, but they're not actually helping you
Right.
out. They're a little
Correct.
too young for that.
Yes.
But do you have any thought of possible expansion, maybe of hiring some additional people or?
Yes. Yeah. Our goal is to grow this business. To have employees. To where like I said, it's right now it's Stephanie and I, and we want to be able to build a business to where we can create jobs in the area. So that's why we're working so hard to create a good name. This is integrity. I want this company to be built on integrity and honesty. So that's we're with the Better Business Bureau, Youngstown Warren Regional Chamber, and we want to build a good name here in the Youngstown community and to create jobs.
And where are you actually located?
We're in Canfield.
Okay.
Yes, we're out of Canfield.
Okay.
So we're a local company.
Now, just to go over, again, this is on your website, but it talks about some of the services, and I guess you guys have touched on this, but just so we don't leave anything out, You have the customized moving plan, and that's, again, we talked about where you sit down with people.
That would be the initial
Right.
visit, going in, meeting with them, figuring out the plan to what exact their needs are.
Now, do people get a copy of that? Is that something you draw up and they get a copy of what you're going to do or what the plan is? How does that work, I guess?
Oh, well, yeah, they can pick off of any of the services they want,
Okay.
Bill, and what we can do is, we write down, like as Stephanie's mentioned, like if they want a floor plan, we would lay it out, and then, yes, we do make copies of that floor plan for them, so this way they have it. If the children, are in town or want to go up and see it with them. And then we would write down initially what they're looking for. Say if they just want packing, that would be on, the agreement for services
Right.
needed. So, or just unpacking.
Yeah, you have, just to go through that, you have packing and unpacking, and it
Yes.
says sorting and organizing, which again, you guys have talked about. And we talked about arranging for disposal of unwanted items, maybe donations to charity. You
Finding
also
an
work,
auctioneer.
with auctions?
Yes.
And, okay, and garage sales, you put those on?
Yes.
Okay. And then the space and floor plans to make sure that everything is where they want it. And then arranging and working with movers, whether it's yourself, I mean,
Yes.
Yes.
you're obviously going to be in charge of that, but then you'll work with the other team of movers.
Yes.
On the larger moves.
And moving items to storage. So, yeah, I guess that would be one of the things I would think, if I were moving just right now, I got a lot of junk. Some of it's not really junk, it's important to me.
Right.
But, if I had to move to a smaller location, boy, there's so much extra.
Yes.
And so how does that work? Do you contract with the storage company or do you work with them?
No, normally what we've done in the past is the homeowner, they'll, if there's a storage facility that's closer to them, or, they've heard of, good things about, we like to leave that up to the homeowner.
Okay.
Of their choice,
That would be the
They could-
contract between them and the storage unit.
Right.
And then, once they have their locker number, we would
yeah, if they
Move
needed.
things to
move
that.
things to that.
Okay.
Yes, and, so that's why they know where, their items are going, and, they know what the amount's gonna be.
Right.
And of course, no, we would, if they ever needed us to, talk to the storage facility or anything, we could do that, help them with that, but we like to leave that up between the homeowner and their choice.
Sure. And there are a couple more that are on the list about residential and commercial cleanouts. So
Yes.
is that maybe after a person maybe passes away? Do you do those kind of things?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can come in, even, we've tried to help, if they say they move and they're gonna wanna put it on the market, we can come in, clean it out and, do some slight handyman work to it to get it ready if they, the family will wanna sell it. Or
Right.
like you say, Bill, if the family member has passed, we've gone in and done the clean outs too.
Right. And that's very difficult. I mean, again, I think everybody who's watching has been through, where someone passes and they're the last person in the home.
Yes.
And again, family memories. And so you need somebody who's, not just going to grab things and throw them in a box, but
Right.
you're going to take the time, I guess, to go
Yes.
through. Yeah. And you mentioned the last thing was the handyman, so you'll do, some of the things says painting and lawn care, snow removal, so you actually
Yes.
do those kind of?
Yes, we do the slight handyman work if, they were looking to sell the home. We can help, with the minor repairs, painting, light plumbing, light electrical, as far as putting in new light switches or, ceiling fixtures. But there again, if it's major things that need done to the home, we have lists of, licensed
Right.
contractors or electricians, plumbers, that we could put them in contact with.
Yeah,
they
to
could-
refer.
Right, that they
Right.
could talk to.
Now, you have also on this page, it talks about aging in place services. Either one of you want to talk about that a little bit?
This would be for seniors that are not looking to move, that wish to stay in their home and be as most independent as they can.
Okay.
This would be helping them with handyman things around the home. If they have just one room that might need some organized, we could go in and help them do some organizing in the room.
Right. Yeah, we've had people on talking about, falls and things like that, and also home health aides and things.
Right.
So, yeah, there are a lot of things that a senior can do to make their home safer. And, clutter is one of the things, I think, if you get rid of some of the things that maybe people can trip over or,
Right.
Right,
run into.
right. If they're on a walker, Bill, or, in a wheelchair, just try to make their home just
Safe environment.
safer for them to get around in.
Right.
If they have a in-home care company that's coming in, taking care of them, we could be part of that to help them.
The team kind of,
Right,
yeah.
the team, yes. So this way they can remain at home and they don't have to worry about, the maintenance of the home or the lawn care, or just trying to get their home a little bit more organized. So it's safer for them, to still be there without tripping or, so those are the types of things we can do for them.
Now, again, we're talking with Stefanie and Dan Earley. They're with Earley and Sons, local, it's not moving, what's the term?
We're moving coordinators.
Moving coordinator, that's
Yes.
it. Make sure I
Yes.
get it right. Now, we only have a couple minutes left. So you would, at the initial meeting, again, maybe set up a list of things that the folks want done, or you explain what you can do. Then, do they get an estimate of what the cost will be, or how does that work?
Yeah, there's free estimates that we do for them. And like I said, it's a initial consultation. Stephanie and I come in and talk with them and just see, what type of services they need. So this way, it's just a time for us to meet with them and, get to know them, and then they can get to know our company and what we have to offer.
Yeah.
They could try to help them.
I think we were talking a little bit before about the things that people have that are of value, and maybe I'm mistaken, but did I see that you guys had at one location, maybe it was medals or something, maybe it was military. Maybe I'm confused on that. But do you work with like World War II veterans where they
Yeah,
have
that's what he
their
was.
medals?
He had his medals that he was very proud of and wanted to make sure that it was packaged, that it was protected so that it, the glass frame around it wouldn't break. So, yep.
Yeah, that's got to be, again, the most important thing that you do, with all of the bigger items, if you've got to move couches and chairs and things like that, it's the
Right.
smaller pieces, I'm sure, that are most important to the folks you work with.
Right, and we make sure we take, extra precaution on everything that we do, and we treat it to as, if it was our own or our own, mom or dad's items, because like I said, with us going through it already, we know the emotion strain that it does put on you, so, and we want to be respectful to their belongings.
Well, again, we thank you for coming in. We've been
Thank
talking.
you for having us.
Sure.
Thank
With Dan and Stefanie Earley. They're with Earley and Sons. They're right in the Canfield area, and you can contact them at 330-501-7004. Again, you've been watching Senior Focus. I'm your host, Bill Adams, and we come to you a couple times each month through Armstrong's Channel 20 and 100. And thank you to Greg Roten, who produces the show. And also thanks to Keith Kaiser, who runs the Davis Visitor Center here at Fellows Riverside Gardens. He allows us to use the beautiful museum here in the Davis Center. And please feel free to come out to the Metro Parks and promote to use the Metro Parks because they're there for everyone in the county. Until next time, thanks for watching.